it works better when it's turned on.
You know what? I found the same thing. It's like women. Yeah, they work a lot better when they're turned on versus when they're on the off switch.
Ladies, he said that. Not me.
I did say that, and I mean that.
Welcome back, everybody. We got Scott Jordan here from Dynamic Funding Inc. and done deals in 2014. We're going to talk a little bit about getting your business, your cannabis business funded. Welcome back, Scott. We met back in Denver, right?
We did. Thank you so much on 420 in that wonderful Cannabis Cup environment there. That was a lot of fun. Hope to see you back there this year.
I'll be there. In fact, I might even be a judge this year, so I might be there for a long time.
Oh, you lucky guy, you
very lucky.
Man.
The perks of the job. I got.
Oh God.
Now, when we first met, you were just getting cranked up with this, and now you've got some better information to tell us. So let's get into it.
Great.
What's new for 2015?
Great. Well, we've just completed a very, very exciting 2014. We completed $6 million worth of debt financing for 4 different companies, starting right after Cannabis Cup. I met several dispensary owners there that we were able to get the money that they need. Several of them are under non-disclosure, but probably the largest one we've done is we did a $2 million semi-secured loan with a 1-year term for a dispensary owner that went from 4 shops to 8 shops and then got 4 licenses in Aurora, needed additional money. Last month, we gave them another $1.3 million that is not secured by any specific assets, just a general UCC lien. We've been very, very aggressive in figuring out how to work with both the MED and the business owners to get them the cash that they need without having to give up ownership. Many business owners want to keep their whole baby in place and not give away an arm, a leg, an ear to someone that they don't know. And what I'm seeing is a building momentum for this particular business is probably going to do close to $85 million this year. With their opening of new stores, they're going to be really primed for Big Tobacco, somebody else that wants a nationwide footprint to go ahead and buy them up, and they'll be able to really reap the rewards of the hard work that they've put in for the last 4 years building this empire.
So you've been doing this work in Colorado, but of course now we've got 2 more states coming online, my home state of Oregon, the Great White North, and Alaska. How does that improve the possibilities here as far as funding these businesses?
Sure. Well, we're very excited. I mean, there's more than enough business just in Colorado and California from what we're seeing. Oregon, I've actually had discussions with M-Bank about potentially providing them with some debt-based financing for their depositors. We're also talking to Fourth Corner Credit Union and some of the other banks and other financial institutions as a way to help their customers maintain the deposits and grow the deposits, because every business needs money in order to grow. There's not a business that doesn't need money, and smart businesses use leverage, like the Trump organization did. He didn't buy buildings for cash. He went ahead and put down some and then leveraged the rest and used his expertise in order to make money. We want to provide debt-based financing for marijuana businesses and other businesses, but we particularly want to help those that don't have a lot of choices right now grow up in the industry.
Everyone's looking for big numbers when it comes to financing their business, but the other thing you have to worry about are the big letters. There's FinCEN, FDIC, SEC. What are the regulatory hurdles, and how are you clearing these and getting this financing going?
What we're doing, that's a great question. We are in compliance with the MED in Colorado in terms of extending loans to Colorado businesses. We figured out how to work through their complex system of getting debt-based deals done. We're not doing anything afoul of the laws. What we're doing is we're simply finding people that need money, connecting them up with either ourselves or one of our syndication syndication partners to lend money, and then giving them the money and then taking the repayment. We're not taking in money, so we don't have to worry about money laundering or any of the other things that people that are ingesting money. We're simply outflowing money and then allowing that money to come back to us.
Wow, this is really amazing. Scott Jordan's with Dynamic Funding Incorporated, working to get funding for these businesses as they break out from this small mom and pop size to statewide organizations. And as you say, the future that's coming, which is the national footprint. It may take a while, as long as marijuana is federally prohibited. It might be a while before Altria wants to jump in the waters. But what's your prediction on that? What do you see this going, and how soon before the big national players get involved?
You know, that's a great question. I've been part of 3 revolutions in my life. The long-distance telecom revolution in 1980, I was with MCI. I was with a company called ICG that was a competitive local exchange carrier when they were breaking down the Bell systems. And then I also was with a company that did voice over the internet before people could spell VoIP. VoIP.
That's my entire radio career is dedicated, because, I mean, I couldn't do my interviews without VoIP.
Exactly. VoIP has been an amazing revolutionary technology.
I used to have to pack bag after bag after bag just to do what I did.
And pay a lot of money to plug into a local signal and try to get it broadcast. Yeah, it's amazing what technology has done. And the same thing is going to happen with the cannabis industry. I feel we're about 3 to 4 years early, of course, depending on who gets elected to the next presidency. You know, that'll determine a lot of it. Hopefully it'll be someone that's along the lines of Obama, that's, you know, cannabis supportive.
Or at least not cannabis opposition.
Yes. Yes.
That's the best. Yeah, all I hope for from the feds is just stay out of the way.
Correct. And I think what you're going to see is very similar to long distance, how it went, where you have the initial entrepreneurs, and most of them are based in Colorado. They're expanding out now to Illinois, to Nevada, to Oregon, to Washington, and they're going to take their vendors and their preferred partners, you know, with them. I think you're going to need to have the pendulum swing a little bit more. My prediction is 3 to 5 more states go legal. You know, hopefully California, some of the other, you know, larger states will go legal. I think then you'll start to see the tipping point. I think we're about 3 years early. I'm predicting probably in around 2018 we'll start to see the vestiges of that happening. But in the meantime, what's happening is the smart entrepreneurs are getting themselves set up to be bought out by someone larger. What they're doing is they're not giving away their equity, they're maintaining their equity, they're going ahead and getting debt-based capital, so they're paying an interest rate which is generally tax deductible, although of course you have to check with your accountant. I'm not giving accountancy or legal advice here, and with 280E, you know, it's a landmine of things there, but generally you can set up a separate company, have that company own the equipment, rent it back to the license holding company, and allow yourself to, you know, transfer some of the income to another company that you then, you know, can help offset some of the taxes that are owed. I predict that probably in 18 we'll start to see some density and some consolidation in the business. What I'm seeing in Denver, though, is there's about 8 or 9 different companies that own 5 or more dispensaries. Those guys are going to be the McDonald's, the Taco Bells, and some of the other, you know, larger franchises as they expand out and use their expertise to expand out. It's also exciting, I think, what Andy Williams over at Medicine Man is doing with Medicine Man Technologies, and seeing some of that firsthand on Pot Barons, and then seeing Andy here at the show. I know Andy from, you know, being in Denver. What he's doing with licenses, his technology, I think is very, very exciting.
It's fascinating. I know when I first got into this, it was reporting on criminal justice and racial issues and culture, and to think now that we have a financial section on the show, that we have to talk about business. It's just an amazing time to be alive and be a part of this next big boom industry. It's nice to have a growth industry in America again. Pardon the pun.
Amen.
Scott Jordan with Dynamic Funding. Tell folks how they can get in touch with you if they're curious about how to do this and to, you know, make use of your services.
Sure. Best way is email. My email is Jordan, Jordan, at Dynamic Funding Inc. So that's the best way. Work number is 303-754-2050. 303-754-2050. Would love to help you or your business grow. It doesn't necessarily have to be a marijuana business. We helped an ancillary business that needed some capital get $2 million in September, which was our first seven-figure loan that we've done. We did another seven-figure loan with the dispensary owner that went from 4 to 8 stores, and we've got plenty more out there. We'd love to help you get the money you need to grow your business and not have to dilute your equity and not have to give up ownership.
Fantastic. We love it. Scott Jordan, thank you so much for joining us here at the ICBC.
My pleasure. Can't wait to see you in Denver in 420. It's coming up in a couple of months.
We'll see how much we can remember of it.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Take it easy, folks. More of the ICBC coming up.